Hello and happy new moon in Gemini. Hello and welcome to Wonderland. My name is Allison. I am the self proclaimed priestess of Wonderland, and I'm here to encourage you to be the change that you want to see in the world and to live the life of your dreams. In today's video, we are doing a pick a card for the new moon in Gemini for June of 2023. However, whenever you find this reading, then I believe it is meant for you. So today we are working with the Archangel Animal deck. So I would like to invite you to choose a animal or insect that jumps out at you. We have the beautiful bee spirit as pile number one. We will reveal the message that's on the card during your reading. In the center, we have beautiful butterfly spirit. And again, we'll reveal the message that's on the card during your reading. And last but not least, we have beautiful guinea pig spirit. If this little furry guy is jumping out at you, we will reveal his message in your reading. So take a deep breath. Remember, this is a Gemini moon, and we're talking about the element of air. So take 3 deep breaths. Choose the card that your soul is speaking to you, or that is speaking to your soul, and find the timestamp in the description below. Group 1, 2, or 3, bee, butterfly, or guinea pig. And there's also an additional timestamp and a closing statement at the end. So I encourage you to choose that timestamp after you watch your reading, because I will kind of talk about all of the readings together and a little bit more about this new moon Gemini energy that we have going on this weekend and just kind of wrap everything up. So watch your reading first, then watch the closing statement, and I hope to see you on the other side of the looking glass. Thank you so much. Hello, group 1. If you chose this beautiful bee spirit, then this is your reading for the new moon in Gemini for June of 2023. I'm just going to set off one of the cards to the side so that you can't see them, and we will start off with our tarot cards here. We have the 3 of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Prince of Swords. So a lot of things going on in these cards and a lot of like this deck in general has a lot of signs and symbols, and that's kind of the point of the deck, honestly. But just all these things were jumping out at me all at once. But I also feel like that is kind of the energy that this new moon has going on right now. And that's the thing about Gemini, is that it's blending two things together. And in this case, it's like a lot of different energies. First of all, I feel like you are the Queen of Swords. You have overcome some sort of challenge or significant obstacle in your life, or you've reached a goal. I feel like you've crossed this bridge and now you're like, what do I do now? And first of all, what do you do now? You need to celebrate. 3 of Cups is like, go get your friends, go get a bunch of cups and cheers each other and celebrate. Um, I was also getting, now the 3 of Cups is literally about like emotional celebrating, like, yay, you're happy, let's celebrate. But this also had a lot of 3 of Pentacles energy to it too. And I feel like could also symbolize a collaboration um, at some point for you. And maybe it's that somebody that you work with is going to become more of a friend, or vice versa. You're going to start working with a friend. Usually the I mean, maybe for some of you, it's just celebrating something significant in your life, something that brings you joy and happy and deserving and worthy of celebration. But there was really a lot of Three of Pentacles energy coming from this card as well. The other thing that really jumped out at me is like this deck has a lot of butterflies, but like you have bloomed and blossomed. I mean, look, she has the butterfly right or literally blooming out of her chest here. Um, all of the cards have butterflies in it, and it's really funny. Before I picked the animal deck, I was just like, "There's so many flyy things everywhere." And before I even like saw that these were hummingbirds, I was just like, all those flyy things everywhere. And then I picked bee spirit, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, more flyy things." Um, so, I mean, this is an air moon, so there could just be a lot of air energy going on right now. And with the Four of Pentacles, there's always some sort of control going on here. So it's like all this freedom and blossoming, blooming transformation, but then something is being restricted here at the same time. And again, I think that is just you have reached some sort of pinnacle, and now you're at the top of the mountain and you're like, uh-oh, like I envision just like looking over this vast ocean, like you've crossed this bridge or jumped this hurdle or climbed this peak, and you're just like looking out on the horizon, and it's like um there's just this ocean of possibility. And it might feel a little bit overwhelming, but with the Prince of Swords here, this is about finding clarity. And specifically for this group, I think it's going to be about finding direction or path or something like that. So what is next for you guys? We have the archetype cards here. We have the womb, the box, and the mentor. And when I picked the mentor card, I really felt like you are the mentor. And I think for some of you, you might not really feel like that. Like, there's this feeling of like, I'm not, like, I'm just living my life and doing the thing, and kind of don't see yourself as a mentor or a teacher, but you are. You are the mentor, you are the teacher. And I even was kind of getting the sense of like, there might be some sort of class that you might be developing. Because with the womb is talking about gestation. This is germinating on an idea, allowing something to kind of remain in the underground like a seed so it can like cultivate a little bit before it's ready. So there's something that you need to work on and allow to gestate and germinate. And there feels like this urgency, like, well, I have to, I made this decision, I got to this goal, and now I have to have something. You have to like birth something or have something to show for it. And I don't think that you're at that point yet. You're still in this germination phase. So don't restrict yourself to this box. We have the Four of Pentacles box here, and then we have the actual box. Again, this made me think of teaching and like actually a classroom and like holding space for people. But this is also like, containing something, keeping it under wraps for a little bit, allowing it to percolate, germinate, grow a little bit before you're ready to birth it into the world. Um, I'm going to go ahead and reveal the B message here because I feel like it was very connected to the womb and the box card here. We have B, spread heart healing with joy. So this again points back to the celebration. Allow for this, like, hey, I accomplished this thing. I crossed this bridge. I got to this pinnacle. I did this thing. You did the thing. You did the thing. And now you're blooming and blossoming, but you're forgetting to kind of allow yourself to be playful. And that is, we were all supposed to be playing during Gemini season. And I don't know if anybody's been doing that, but you got to do it now because we're saying goodbye to Gemini season and Cancer is going to shift us into self care. So maybe play can be a part of your self care. I do want to read the bee message. I'm just gonna skim over. So this is the Archangel Animal Oracle cards, and it really goes into the starseed information about bees. I'm just gonna kind of briefly explain that instead of reading the whole thing. Basically, it says that bees are from the Pleiades. Um, and the reason I'm skimming over it is because I think we all know that bees are here as part of our survival. Like they are an extremely intricate part of all of our survival. Without bees, we wouldn't we wouldn't we wouldn't be okay. And I don't know. I think most people know that and understand that. So the biggest point about the bees though is that their hives are built according to sacred geometry and angels always sing over them to hold the frequency high. Fairies and other elementals gather around the hive to bathe in this angelic light. Pixies, who are earth elementals, lead bees to flowers to ensure that they pollinate as many as they can. Their sole mission is to teach us about sacred geometry to spread Pleiadian heart healing. So the bee card reminds you to do everything with joy. When you serve others and the planet with your open heart, an alchemical change takes place both in the giver and the receiver. You become one and thus spread oneness throughout the universe. Solidarity and togetherness grow in the consciousness of the world. So let your actions be purposeful and allow the higher purpose to work through you and guide you. Then your life flows and the highest good always unfolds for you. The bees also guide you to remember the power and light conferred by the use of sacred geometry. Use its principles in your home and workplace, and the angels will sing over you, bringing light and peace. So the sacred geometry part of this card feels very significant for you because we have the triangle and the square here. There's also spirals within the tarot cards, and it just felt like there is a need for you to work with sacred geometry, even if that's just like hanging up a flower of life print in your workspace or in your home. I think that's going to be really significant for you. The bee spirit also brings the energy of the Three of Pentacles to the Three of Cups card here because bees work together. They work as a team, they work to support the higher good. So this is sacred geometry, but also collaboration with somebody or a group of people. And just like creating, I really do feel like you are some sort of mentor, teacher. There's going to be this class or even just like a community of people. And while yes, you are the mentor, it's also important that like you allow yourself to receive love as well. Like all these people have their hands open to receiving. Um that was really jumping out at me, and I what did I write? So I don't forget. Just because you are the provider slash teacher slash mother does not mean that you aren't allowed to be loved, nurtured, taught, and receptive at the same time. There is like this realization that I think you're going to be having, and your path is going to be more clear. Um, and you're being asked to serve with an open heart. You have gone through a huge transformation, and it's time for you to step into your power. No more no more holding back and keeping yourself in the box. Stop restricting your movement. A clear path is unfolding for you. Set intentions around following your instincts and integrating sacred geometry into your life and work. And I really felt like this was like finding things like sacred geometry, some sort of object or print or painting or art that has sacred geometry on it, and finding something that brings you joy so that when you look at this thing, you are experiencing joy. So, something that's like aesthetically pleasing designs that bring you joy. The spirals were jumping out at me, the triangles, the flower of life, the square. Like, find some symbols or shapes or sacred geometric shapes that like really and like you feel really drawn to, because I think that's really significant for you. Our water cards for the Cancer energy is the Mother of Salt Waters, Passion, Wild Love, Open Your Heart and Let Love In, and Cosmic Ocean, Current Dreams, Future Realities, and New Beginnings. So I think that these are kind of speaking to uh, different things. Again, reiterating what I was saying, just because you are the provider, you are the mother, you are the teacher, you are the mentor, doesn't mean that you can't be receptive as well and continue to learn. You might even want to find your own mentor that's going to be there to support you while you are supporting your community and your collective. Um, Opening your heart, I think, is going to make things clear to you, because I think that you want to have this like structured plan. And I think you did have that. I think you had a very structured plan, and everything that you were working towards were so that you could get to this point. And now that you're at that point, you're like, "Oh wait, I didn't have any plans for like after after the fact." So maybe you feel a little bit lost, confused, or overwhelmed, but like it is going to be more clear for you. And this card I feel like really goes with our journal prompt card here of, am I communicating my needs? So I think really for you, getting like pinning down exactly what it is that you want and what you need is going to open up this clear path, open up this like direction so that you like at least have something that you're leading towards. And then you can formulate your plan. Then you can have your structure. Then you can have your box in your classroom. But right now, it's really just kind of weeding through everything, like clearing these clouds out of the way, letting go, like pinpointing exactly what it is that you want and need, because your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? And this could even be taking a break, take a vacation. Like you got to this thing, you did this thing. Like let yourself just kind of, sometimes when we take a step back, when we go sit outside in the sun and read a book, That's when like all these ideas just kind of bubble and culminate to the surface. So, what are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? And it's important to identify our fears so that we're not they have no control of us. We say, "Hey, this is my fear, but you can take a back seat." You're not at the forefront and you're not in the subconscious. So bringing them to the surface so that you can release them, let go, heal, combat them. Is it possible that you are fearing? Wait, is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? So that's like combating those different negative thoughts that pop up, those negative thinkings, and being like, is this really true? Because most of our fears are not really true. So journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe that my needs matter and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, what am I resisting with and with whom? What do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs? And this is something like be open and honest with yourself so that you're like nobody else has. I feel like there might be some sort of outer influence. I think maybe you might have a little bit of guilt about reaching this goal and moving in the directions of your dreams because maybe somebody in your life is kind of stuck in maybe something that isn't fulfilling them as much as this thing is going to be for you, and you might have a little bit of guilt because you want them to be happy, you want them to be able to follow their dreams, but it's not your responsibility to cater to their emotions. You cater to your emotions, follow your path and your dream, and that is just setting an example so that they will feel inspired to do the same and make changes in their life that will maybe put them in a situation that you're in now that is doing the thing that you want to do. So I'm just looking at my notes to make sure. Sometimes, like I write things down to just come up intuitively, and I don't want to skip over anything. You have crossed a bridge, and now there is this whole big ocean of possibilities. Um, I think there was a note from the cosmic ocean that I wanted to read. I feel like I'm missing something significant for this reading. Um, cosmic ocean. I think there was another journaling question here. I know this one had a lot of journaling questions. Yeah, okay. So this is part of the cosmic ocean card here. This card is one of promise, hope, and new beginnings. What dreams are making their way into your consciousness? What is it that you're dedicated to creating? While the manifestation may not be immediate, time will bring things to fruition. And not just fruition for you, I think this time will make things more clear with this Page of Swords here at the end. Um, Trust in the whispering dreams of your destiny, just as new beginnings of a stream may one day flow into the vast ocean. Something new is beckoning to be born with the wound card here, too. So dare deep and wide, dream your future into reality. And so the soul inquiry for this card, I knew I was missing something. What's the biggest dream you have that even you are yet have yet to admit? I think that like now that you've reached this pinnacle, that you're realizing that like your goal and your dream is so much bigger and as vast as the ocean than you thought it was. But just because there's this whole ocean of possibility out here, I'm even looking at the ocean back here too. Um, you can still like narrow your path and make your way and find these clear skies that like guide you to where you're supposed to be going. Um, so just to kind of wrap up everything, I know this was a lot. First of all, allow yourself to play, allow yourself to have joy. Collaborating with people is going to be very significant for you. And if it's not a teacher mentor or a teacher student kind of thing, it's like a community that's supporting everybody, but you're still kind of stepping into this leadership role. It's like a collective and it's everybody supporting one another, but you are this like leader of it, but you're still able to collaborate. I don't know. I'm just seeing this like web, this connection, this like whole hive of people and things, and you're all supporting each other. Um, Connect to sacred geometry and shapes that you feel really drawn to, and that might even unlock some things for you. So remember that you are the Queen of Swords. You have earned your power. You've earned that respect and that you can wield your knowledge and be the mentor. Use this sword to find your clarity. Let go of control a little bit. Again, remember to play. And I hope you have a happy new moon. If anyone is interested in getting a private, more intimate reading, those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. I'll also do a kind of collective reading or closing statement at the end. So feel free to jump ahead to that timestamp to see how all of the readings kind of tie together. Um, a little bit more about this like new moon Gemini energy, Cancer season. It's kind of galactic too. That will be, you can jump to that timestamp in the description box below too. All of the decks that I've used here are linked as well. So thank you so much. Have a happy new moon. Hello, group 2. If you chose this beautiful butterfly, and this is your reading for the new moon in Gemini for June of 2023. Just going to set that off to the side and we will reveal that message at the end. I'm going to start with your tarot cards. And we have, I'm going to show this to you upright, the 10 of Wands, but it is coming to us in reverse today. The 4 of Swords, also in reverse. I'm going to show it to you upright. The Fool, he is also coming to us in reverse. And Death, who is also in reverse. So, first of all, group 2, I need you to know and understand that you are so loved and so supported and so protected, but you are holding yourself back a lot. Um, and you need a break. My question, like when I pulled these cards, my question for group 2 was, what are you doing? What are you doing? What you should be doing is taking a nap. And if you don't, rest, relax, replenish, the universe is going to force you to do it. You're also trying to do everything on your own. And again, if you don't start asking for help, you're still gonna, your burnout is the only thing that is um, happening. You may have already burnt out. You may be feeling the burnt out coming, or if you don't stop and slow down now, you're going to burn out. Burnout is inevitable unless you take a nap. There's something, so this is kind of fun. It's like universe loves throwing us like for a loop all the time. So this is kind of funny. You need to rest and put things down and replenish and rejuvenate, but you're also needing to jump into something new. But you're not letting yourself, and it's funny that there is an alligator on this Fool card because you're scared to jump in. You're scared to jump into that unknown and you're holding yourself back. However, now is not the right time to jump in, but it is the second you allow yourself to rest and take a break is when the time will be right. So allow yourself to rest. I think you feel like I can't rest. I have to keep going. I have to keep doing. I have to just go, 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 go because you want this thing so bad. But it's not going to work out unless you rest. So you're being asked to jump in, stop holding yourself back, but you're doing too much. Something needs to change. And something also needs to end. You're with the death card in reverse, you're resisting letting go of something. And that's the only way this new thing can come. That's the only way we can jump into new things is if we leave the other thing behind, leave the shore behind, or leave the riverbank behind. If you want to jump into that pond or into that river, you need to leave the shore behind. So the new moon is a time to rest and relax and to be open and receptive to ideas, wisdom, a knowledge, like something that's going to point you into the direction or to allow things to settle and fall into place so that then you could move forward. We have the queen. You are the queen of your world. But just because you're the queen and the leader and the mother, this could be a mother, a teacher, just because you're the leader doesn't mean that you have to do everything yourself. In fact, it means that you have the right to delegate. You need to be delegating tasks. You do not need to be doing all of the freaking things that you're doing. Ask for help. Even if that's spiritual help. I want you to pay attention to both of these cards. So this is wands, this is swords. They're totally different suits, but they both have bears in them. You're mama bear, you're queen bear, but you need to tell your little cublings, uh, or whoever might be under you to do these tasks, delegate these tasks. Um, Bears symbolize personal power, strength, and life force. I really feel like they're also representing guardians for you. Like you are totally safe and protected. If you allowed yourself to rest, they will look out for you. They will look out for you. You are allowed to take a break. I really do think with the vessel card here that this needs to be a physical break. You need to lie down. Your body needs a break. Um, and I don't know. I don't know, got this message like if you're someone who is like doing spiritual work or facilitating spiritual work for other people, it still takes a toll on your body. I mean, you think that like um you need to take care of your body as well as your spiritual health. You need to take care of your physical health as well as your spiritual health. And there is some sort of hidden gem gift secret within you that I think can only be locked if you rest. If you have to take a step away from whatever this thing is that you want to jump into. You have to take a step back. Like go out and do something totally different. Go read a book outside. Go vacuum the living room. Go reorganize your cabinets. Go take a walk. It's when you're doing something totally separate from this thing and that has to have nothing to do with the thing that you're doing. Like if you are I don't know why I keep coming back to spiritual leader, but if you're some sort of spiritual, like facilitating spiritual things for other people, you taking a break is not um doing your own spiritual work. It's doing something totally different and totally mundane. Watching a movie, like something that has nothing to do with spirituality. I don't know why that keeps coming up, but this could be like, say you're a chef and you are like, God, people in the food industry work so hard. So physically demanding. And like, we all have to eat, but like on your day off, don't be cooking this intricate meal that takes forever to prep, make, serve, and then to clean up. Like, that's not taking a break from being a chef. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, yes, you love cooking and being a chef, and maybe sometimes cooking is really really therapeutic for you or meditative or and does make you feel like you are replenishing, rejuvenating, but not in this instance. So whatever it is that you do work-wise, you need to do something totally different. I've taken some classes with Patty Negri, who's a psychic medium, and she holds these public seances and she recommends at the end of the seances, like after she closes the circle and says goodbye to the spirits and all of that stuff, she tells you to go watch like the dumbest comedy that you can find on TV. Just like do something that totally disconnects you from the spirit world or disconnects you from whatever your job is or whatever your focus is. It has to be something totally opposite, like totally different that breaks you away and severs you from that thing so that when you come back to it, you are feeling fresh and energized and inspired and not burnt out. Does that make sense? Like that is when these like ideas and thoughts of inspiration are going to reveal themselves to you. They're totally hidden in the weeds right now because you're in the weeds. You're working too hard. You need to delegate, you need to take a break, and when you come back to it, that's when things are going to fall into place. That's when things are going to make sense. And it's going to be when you have the energy to say goodbye to whatever this is that needs to go. You're going to have the energy to do that because you're like, you can see clearly now. You're like, oh, okay, because I need to jump into this thing. We also have plunge and follow the stream. So, this was another instance where I thought it was funny. Like, okay, you're telling us not to jump into something, but then you're literally telling us to jump into something. And actually, I didn't even realize when I was making the point of you have to leave the side of the river behind in order to jump into the river. I totally forgot about this card being like literally jumping into the water. So so plunge says, don't hold back. It's time. Go for it and dive in. But I really do want to iterate. You can only do that if you take a rest and put things down. Follow the stream, dedication, trust, future rivers and oceans. So there's certainly like a getting into flow, getting into rhythm for you. Because with the rivers are just really prevalent in these cards here. And we even have a salmon on this card here. And um, I don't know. I think most people know this, but I'll just say it anyways to prove my point. Salmon, like they make that huge journey upstream. Like they go against the current to get to, I don't know what it is, their food or like I don't know. I don't remember the whole story, but salmon, they like, and I'm assuming this is salmon because it's pink. That like there's a big river aspect here, and I think it's because like you might be treading water and you need to let go and go with the current. I did feel called to read from the books for these. Follow the stream. Streams can be trickles and end up as immense rivers and vast oceans. They've been providing humanity with sustenance since we first appeared on this planet. Follow the stream and trust that one day it'll carry you to the rivers and oceans of your future. You're you're being called to surrender to the current of the waters that you're in, to trust the path that you're walking, and to keep showing up day after day to what you're building. What might seem like a small trickle right now holds the promise of becoming a river or ocean in the world. Keep putting one foot in front of the other and trust your path. This is a card of trust. You may not yet be able to see the future outcome, or perhaps you're not quite sure to get to where you're going. On the journey, there will be many steps that require faith. This may be one of them. You're being encouraged to find that faith, to keep facing your true north, to follow the stream and let it carry you. So commit to your passions and be dedicated to what you're creating. Keep showing up day after day. If you do, before you know it, you'll have created something huge simply by showing up in small, consistent ways. If you trusted your path, what would you do? And I think these are really big questions. I wrote that question down, and another big question for you goes with this plunge card. If you weren't worried about it, meaning this thing that you want to jump into, if you weren't worried about it not working out, what would you plunge into right now? And I think this is really significant for the death card here. Like, I think you're holding on to this other thing because you're waiting for this thing to work out. And it's, I think this is sometimes we can have both, but I think this is a situation where you have to be funneling all of your energy into this thing, and dividing and conquering isn't working. Like you can't do these two things because all of your energy needs to go here and into replenishing your energy. I think I'm gonna read the butterfly message first, and then we'll get to our last journal question. So, butterfly, be ready to transform with wisdom. Be ready. Like, being ready still means resting, replenishing, rejuvenating, conserving your energy so that you're ready to jump in. And I feel called to read the whole message here because part of this is star message and part of it is like guidance message. So I'm going to read the whole message for butterfly here. Butterflies originate from Orion, the constellation of wisdom, and are fifth dimensional insects. They are messengers of the angels, and their auras contain archangel codes which help you connect with those beings of light. If a butterfly flutters near you, it might be bringing you a message or reminding you how loved you are. That was like the main reason I needed to tell you at the beginning of this reading. You are so loved, and I don't think that you are fully giving yourself the respect and love and nurturing that you deserve because you're doing it for everybody else. Butterflies go through an incredible metamorphosis from egg to caterpillar to cocoon to butterfly before they spread their wings. Their main soul mission is to demonstrate that change is possible, and so is massive spiritual growth. Their service work is to pollinate, though to a lesser degree than bees. Um, you are holding back your transformation for whatever reason. And I think it's because you're not allowing yourself to cocoon. You're not allowing yourself to hibernate like the Four of Swords wants you to do. You're not delegating so that you can hibernate and rest and replenish and rejuvenate. You need to go into this cocoon, like sleep all day kind of cocoon, so that you can emerge as your butterfly. When you receive the butterfly card, you are advised that it is time for profound transformation. You are ready to emerge from your cocoon. But if you don't go into the cocoon, you can't emerge. Do not rush this. You need a phase of relaxation and calm before you spread your wings. I promise I didn't read this beforehand. I'm going to read that again. Do not rush this. You need a phase of relaxation and calm before you spread your wings. Use this period for a life review to help you decide what you want to change and remember that the process is inevitable. You will emerge as a different spiritual person. See the world through the eyes of expectation and do everything with new joy and lightness. See, you're going to come out like so inspired and so refreshed and so renewed that you are going to dive deep into this thing and you're not even going to care about the thing that you need to say goodbye to. Stay in harmony and peace. Remember, you are a beloved child of the universe, and that wondrous possibilities are becoming available to you. You will be protected and supported as you explore the new. That was another thing I really felt like I needed to tell you at the beginning of this. You are so safely guided and protected. You're taking care of everybody like on in the 3D world, in the physical world, but you have a huge spirit team like behind you. Remember, you are a beloved child of the universe and wondrous possibilities are becoming available to you. You will be protected and supported as you explore the new. You are an emissary for the angels, carrying angel light in your energy fields. People will see your sense People will see or sense your inner beauty and respond to you with love and happiness. So, lots of things for you to contemplate and man, just take a nap. I'm telling you, just take a nap. Before you close your eyes, ask your guides to answer whatever questions you want to have answered, to ask that you receive guidance and just be open to receiving it. Uh, how can I be more flexible right now? What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good. Remind yourself all day long or for this entire moon cycle, write this down so that you, every morning when you wake up, you are reminding yourself that you are safe, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. And then do some yoga. So, you need to set intentions around taking a break, using this new moon dark time to hibernate. You got to go into your cocoon. You got to take a break. And if you're like, I don't have time to take a break, delegate something. There are some things that we can delegate. You don't have to be doing everything. So remember, group two, if you weren't worried about it not working out, what would you plunge into right now? And if you trusted your path, what would you do? And ask yourself, how can you be more flexible right now? How can you go with the current of the river? How can you just rest, relax, get in your inner tube, and float and coast for a while? This is so important for you, group two, and I wish you all the best. I wish that you find all the time that you need to rest and replenish so that you come out and jump into this thing wholeheartedly and with so much inspiration and energy that I can't wait to see what you do. But please, please, please rest and relax. Get in your inner tube and float down the lazy river. Um, Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're planning to rest and rejuvenate. And if you'd like to hear more about the new moon and Gemini energy and how all of these readings kind of reflected with each other, check out that. It's probably the fourth timestamp, whatever the last timestamp is for the closing statement. And hopefully, I'll see you at the end. Hello, group three. I am so excited to jump into your reading. I think it's going to be a long one. So grab a beverage, get cozy. The reason I think it's going to be long is because there were at least two or three cards that I felt really called to read from the guidebook. So we've got some reading to do. We've got some divination to do. So let's jump into your beautiful guinea pig reading. We have the Prince of Wands. Look at all that color. The Three of Pentacles. I'm going to show it to you upright, but it is coming to us in reverse. We have the Hermit, and he is also coming to us in reverse. And Strength. So the first things that jumped out at me here were we've got two lions here. I don't know if you are a Leo or um, I think for those of you that chose this group are being asked to embody the Leo-esque-ness of your psyche. You're asking to kind of step into the spotlight a little bit here. Um, the other thing that jumped out at me was like, I don't think you like being in the spotlight, and I also feel like you don't really like you don't play well with others, especially with the Three of Pentacles here in reverse. I'm laughing because I relate. I relate. I don't play well with others either. Um, so, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, for some of you, this could represent not learning from past mistakes or lack of commitment to something. But it can also represent not collaborating together well, like just not, you prefer to do everything on your own. And that is confirmed here also with the Hermit in reverse. When the hermit's upright, this is a call to go within, to isolate. But you have been too isolated, and it's time for you to step out of your hibernation, time for you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Um, but you're learning to do that. Look at this beautiful card. There's so many colors, so much vibrancy, creativity here. And I feel like even if you're not an artist, you're still a creative person. However, I think for some of you, you probably are an artist or do some sort of creative art form type of work. But I think you've been keeping that to yourself. And Spirit is asking you to step into the spotlight a little bit, embody some sort of your Leo pride and your courage, and follow this thread. Again, we have a rainbow here. We have lots of rainbows. Um, I feel like maybe you're just a really colorful and vibrant person, but I do think for some of you, you are a create like do like you're an artist in some way, shape, or form. We also have the vessel here. And I think that this can mean a couple of different things, is because this card came up in group one. So if you were feeling kind of called to group one, you might want to go check that out. But for group one, I feel like the vessel was pointing to taking care of the physical body, like the physical vessel that your soul is housed in. While I still feel like it could represent that in this reading, I feel like it's more about creating this container, or you've created this container for yourself, and about stepping out of that a little bit, following the thread of inspiration and just following where it leads you. We also have this Bardo card, which this is the one of the ones that I want to read from the book from, because this is a Bardo, or the Bardo is a new word for me. So I'm going to read the message here. The keywords are the liminal, the in-between, and the transition. So it is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls passed. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to the earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. So, again, we have the thread here. This reading was, I feel like, one of the most connected and spiritually connected. So I feel like those of you that chose this pile are very connected to either liminal spaces, maybe you're a medium, you're very connected to the spiritual realm, and you might use creativity or some sort of art form to put that out into the world. Or if you haven't done that already, like, you're being asked to put your gifts out into the world. We also have the cosmic ocean, current dreams, future realities, and new beginnings. It's time for you to start putting your work, whether that's a physical piece of art, out into the world, or some sort of creative or spiritual art form, like bringing that out into the world. We also have on call healer, seer, priestess. Um, oh, is that the male form of priestess? Priest? Oh, maybe it's that's unisex? Priest, priestess, or presex? I don't know. Anyway, sole purpose. I wanted to read from this one because I don't know what on call means. So I wanted to read the from the book for this one. The folklore of many different places, including Ireland, France, Holland, Albania, England, and Germany, has tales about a rare event called an on call or a veiled birth. This occurs when the mother goes into labor, but her waters fail to break, and the baby appears in the world still inside the amniotic sac in which it gestated. According to tradition, children born on call have a second sight and gifts of healing. In Scotland, they were seen as good omens, and fishermen birth sought out birth call, the amniotic sac, as an amulet to protect them from drowning. In ancient Egypt, they were believed to be the future priests, priestesses, and priestesses. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I like that there's an EX form of the community. This is the card of the healer, the seer, the wisdom keeper, and the mystic. Perhaps you're already on this path, or perhaps it's something new for you. The healer, the shaman, the medicine person knows that it's through facing their own shadow and taking their own deep healing journey that they can return to guide others in their healing. The healer is, like all of us, in their own spiral of transformation and healing. Healed isn't a stagnant state. The healer knows they're not meant to be perfect and whole all the time. Instead, it's because they've journeyed to the deepest, darkest, uncharted oceanic caves and returned with an open heart and mind that they're able to hold space for another. This card is acknowledgement of your role in the world and the deep work you've been doing on your own healing journey. I really feel like this is significant for you because I think for some of you that this is art, but spirituality can be an art. Your whatever your psychic gift is, that's still a gift that is an art form. And this whole the first impression that I had of like not playing well with others, there's a reason for that. You have been hurt in the past. But like this card says, your the obstacles that you've overcome, the pain, the shadow work that you have done is exactly why you are able to access these spaces because you've been there, you've experienced them. And I think you've kept this to yourself with the hermit. Like you've done this shadow work. You've maybe done the art or traveled the realms, but I don't think you're telling anybody about it. And you're being asked with this Leo here to step into the spotlight, whether it's just telling your story verbally, written through art. It's time for you to put yourself out into the world. And I don't want to belittle the fact that like there's a reason that you haven't, and that's okay. Like I'm not trying to say like, oh, it doesn't matter what other people did to you in the past. That doesn't matter. Like it does matter. But the pain that you've experienced is exactly what makes you who you are. And it's time for you to share because the world needs your gift, your light, your knowledge and wisdom now more than ever. I really feel like this is about turning something, some sort of current dream, something idea or vision that you've had. It's time to put it like maybe you've never thought about doing it as a career before, but I think maybe you're just being told to push it into the spotlight. And even if you don't want to make it a career, I think that there's just you need to put something out into the world. And I don't know, maybe it doesn't have to be monetized. I don't know, but you need to put something out into the world. Like you just have to. Let's read our little guinea pig message here. Do your part to illuminate the universe. You may feel like you're small, like this little guinea pig, but you have a lion within you. I also wanted to read the little guinea pig's message. We have guinea pigs come up a lot in Wonderland, because they were the croquet balls. 60. These gentle little creatures are the only animals to incarnate from Venus, the planet of love. They have undertaken a huge mission on Earth to open and heal hearts, and they can do so because they are small and vulnerable, so people accept them. When you hold or think about a guinea pig, it automatically connects you directly to the cosmic heart that you receive and download. This especially heals those who have hurt or abused hearts. This is so important at this time when we are preparing for the new golden age. The energy of the guinea pig activates your connection through Venus to all the stars in the cosmos. Then, links are all illuminated with beautiful pink love. Through these animals, you can help to bring this wonderful universe together with love. Guinea pigs are unique and highly evolved creatures whose sole mission is to give and receive love. This is the card of love. Just reading it starts to connect you energetically to the guinea pigs and through them to the cosmic heart. Be open to receiving a download of agape. Remember that when love flows through you, through your heart, it ignites the hearts of all of those around you. Then, for a brief and glorious moment, you activate and light up the stellar links throughout creation with bright pink love. In this way, you do your part to illuminate the universe. In response, the cosmos floods you with love and all manner of abundance. Just relax and trust, knowing that love is coming to you. So, no matter what hurt or pain you've experienced in the past, this reading is so full of love. I just look at all the heart centered, the infinity symbol on her heart, the star on his heart, the lion leads with his heart. It makes me think of the cowardly lion from The Wizard of Oz and him receiving his heart and courage. You can step out of your little hidey hole, Mr. Hermit. You can do it and connect us. I think by doing so, you're connecting us all to this liminal space. You're helping us all connect to our spirituality and to the cosmos. When was the last time you danced freely? Dance. Because it will shift you into a beautiful state. Because it will get you out of your head and into your body and heart. When I read that, I wanted to say it will get you out of your hidey hole and into your body and heart. Again, with the vessel here too, being your body. Because fear lives in the head, along with anxiety, control, guilt, frustration, and impatience. In just a few minutes of dancing, you will make the shift. You will feel a change of joy and confidence take over, and you will feel a soul reminder to live and lead from your heart. Dancing is a tool to ground us in the now. It triggers happiness, and it is the gateway to freedom to become free. Dance. Dance for 3 minutes to your favorite song. Notice the inward fire growing within you and feeling you feel being you. You are a wild, loving, free force. Express it with dance today. I've gotten this card before and I encourage you to do it. And 3 minutes is going to feel like a long time because you're going to feel silly doing it. Um, but just creating that movement sets the momentum to keep going and to not hide back into your little hidey hole. Group 3, from my heart to your heart. Please bring your gifts to the world. I can't wait to see what you are putting out in the world. Set your intentions around following that thread, whatever just grabs your attention. Find that bright color. All of these, just follow it. Just keep connecting the dots and following it. And follow that rainbow feeling. If you do the dance for 3 minutes and you just like love the way that feels, the movement in your body, find something else that creates that feeling for you. And when you feel that feeling again, follow it. I think that you have been keeping your gifts and talents secret, but you were meant to show the world and put yourself out there. Whether you are a Leo or not, get in the spotlight and follow the thread to your true purpose. I feel like maybe you thought that you could still hone your gifts and your talents, but just keep them to yourself and like that was your purpose. But your purpose is to share it with everybody. You need to share it with the world. You're strong enough. Oh my gosh, I haven't even talked about the strength card. You are strong enough to do it. Just because you're a sweet little guinea pig teaching us all to open our hearts doesn't mean that you don't have a lion within, because you do. And I also want to point out the snake that she's holding. When I look at the cards down here, it also looks like the thread. Grab hold of the thread and just keep going. Thank you so much, Group 3. I can't wait to see what you do next. If you're interested in how all of these readings connected together and more about the Gemini New Moon, stick around because the closing statement is immediately following this video. Hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone, and happy new moon in Gemini. How are you feeling about your readings? Please let me know in the comments. I have like a lot of things to say, but I'm going to try to stay grounded and make sense. um, First of all, let's just talk about the new moon in Gemini. So we know that Gemini is an air sign. We know that air represents wisdom and knowledge, but it's also our connection to the cosmos, to spirit, to the divine. And there is a very galactic kind of energy coming through right now. And I was getting this message of like we also know that Gemini is the twins, and like usually represented by like a male and a female, like integrating that duality, the masculine, the feminine, the dark, the light, the good, the bad, two sides of a coin, um, the Gemini twins. But this new moon feels very galactic, like I was saying. So it almost feels like this integration of earth energy, which I know is strange to say with an air sign, but there is something very earthy and tangible to this new moon. And I feel like this Gemini energy is about cosmic energy integrating with earth energy. So, like, I don't know, solidifying our connection to spirit, solidifying our connection to the cosmos, understanding and gaining that perspective that we get when we recognize, oh, hey, Earth is not the center of the universe. Earth is not the only thing here. There seems to be more awareness and more emphasis on galactic energy right now, which is why I chose this particular animal deck, the Archangel animal. While it literally has Archangel in the title, other than the message, the angels on the bottom of the cards here. Oh, hey, these are the same angel. I just realized that connection. Um, there's no information about the angels in this deck. It really bothers me, but I love the star seed. Like this deck opened up star seeds animals. And I don't know why I thought humans were the only things that could be star seeds, but freaking animals are star seeds. Everything on the planet has a connection to the cosmos. So that's why I chose this deck to work with. I also really wanted it to be bee, butterfly, and another bee, but I love this little guinea pig, so that's okay. Um, I also like that they are both winged creatures because of that air element. But like I said, there is this earth element to this Gemini new moon, and I'm not really sure why, especially because I mean, well, I guess well, no, because we're in Gemini season. We're ending Gemini season, moving into I don't know. There's this earth element to to this moon and these readings today, but also that Cancer energy is really coming through. That's why I chose the Healing Waters Oracle because there's a lot of water. So it's like this triangle of earth, water, and cosmic. It's like a trifecta. And it's also kind of funny, the music I was listening while filming this was just like some background ambient noise, but it was Zelda Breath of the Wild, which if you've played Zelda before, you know the Triforce. So there's this triangular action going on with this new moon, this galactic connection, air connection, water connection, and land. It's land, sky, and sea, which is one of the Celtic trifectas, and I think one of the cards, yeah, one of the cards from this deck had the Triskele, which is like three spirals kind of intertwining together. So there is this triangular action going on too. And I pulled these two cards out to talk about at the closing statement here because the cosmic ocean came out twice, and so did the vessel. So the vessel for one reading was more about like taking care of your body because your body is the vessel for your soul. Um, but the other reading that it was in was more about taking care of your environment, the earth, your world, um, because it is the container from which we need to put things in containers. We need to protect them. We need to keep them safe. We need to take care of the earth and we need to take care of our body. So I wanted to read from these two cards here, and let's see. Let's start with a vessel. So the keywords for the vessel are body, container, and the cup. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on Earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, and our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect eggs, savings accounts protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full? Or perhaps is no vessel at all and the contents spill everywhere in every direction? It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. Is it time for you to build, break, or repair? You must find out. Um, so I do really feel like this again brings that earth element like to this of like protecting the planet that we live on. And the cosmic ocean, the keywords there are current dreams, future realities, and new beginnings. So, water features in the creation stories of countless cultures across the globe, perhaps more so than any other natural substance or mystery. Echoing through these symbolic narratives about the birth of the world is the notion that everything originated from water. Many creation myths speak of life arising from primordial waters or the great cosmic ocean. The Rig Veda, the oldest Indian sacred text, states that creation began within the darkness, where all was an unrecognizable salty ocean. And to the ancient Babylonians of Mesopotamia, in the beginning, there was both salty water and sweet water, which merged to create the gods. In many creation myths, transformation and emergence occur in the places where natural elements overlap. While Celtic mythology doesn't have a specific creation story, there is the fable of Enocha, a white mare born from the foam where the sea met the land before time began. This card is one of promise, hope, and new beginnings. What dreams are making their way into your consciousness? What is it that you're dedicated to creating? While manifestation may not be immediate, time will bring these to fruition. Trust in the whispering dreams of your destiny. Just as the new beginnings of a stream may one day flow into the vast ocean, something new is beckoning to be born. So dare deep and wide, dream your future into reality. And the soul inquiry is, what's the biggest dream you have that even you are yet to admit to? So I see this connection of land, sky, and sea, or cosmos and earth energy integrating, the earth element merging with the sky element. I also see this as bringing forth cosmic energy into the 3D realm, or at least into our awareness. So bringing the subconscious underwater ocean energy to the surface of the earth and perhaps putting it into a container. I mean, these two cups, taking the ocean and putting it into a cup is basically the page of cups card, which was actually one of the cards that I got for the reading of 2023. Oh, actually, I should probably look to see if it was this time of year that that card came up. Um, this is like putting creating a container, a vessel, and filling it up with something, being open to receiving, allowing these messages from our heart, from the cosmos, from wherever, and giving it a solid foundation to stand on, bringing it into the 3D world, taking our connection to spirit and merging it with with our 3D realm, taking the knowledge and wisdom that our soul has and integrating it into the physical realm, into this lifetime. Um, just like our body is a container for our soul, allowing that wisdom and information from our soul to still come through. And then this is just playing out in a different way for all of us. For some of it, it's going to be working together and teaching. For some of it, for some of us, it's going to be allowing for this transformation, for stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping out of your cocoon, and sharing your story with the world. And for some of us, it's going to be like leading from the heart, leading with love, being the change that you want to see in the world. So I think what, generally speaking, and just to wrap this up, because I feel like I could talk about this forever, this Gemini moon is representing more duality than I think we've looked at it as before. It it's not just masculine, feminine, it's everything in between. It's not just Earth, 3D Earth, and cosmic 5D, 9D, 10D, 12D, whatever. It's everything in between. It's not just what you learn and happen and experience within your cocoon or within your space, within your container, your vessel, and the transformation, the butterfly. It's everything that happened in between that time too. It's merging and integrating not just one or the other. It's all of the things. All of the things are being merged and blended and integrated together with this new moon. And as we transition into Cancer season, we can step into that flow and that rhythm and just allow this transformation to happen and to not resist it, to remember to go with the flow, to go with the current. And I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see you on the other side. I hope you have a lovely, happy new moon. Please check out my website, priestessofwonderland.com, if you would like a personal private reading. Also, there's readings available in my Ko-fi shop, but those are for live readings. So hopefully you can catch me on YouTube or Twitch, and I hope to see you on the other side of the looking glass.